Today is January the 1st, 2017. And I want to talk about a subject that I've gone over before, but I've previously only used the Old Testament to prove that Yehoshua was inside the body of the Father. I used Isaiah 49 to prove that point. I will go over it again, and afterwards I will go over John 17, which also proves the same thing. Let's start in verse 1 of Isaiah 49. Listen, O coastlands, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. Jehovah has called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother, he has made mention of my name. And again, as I've said before, if you want to go and look in, I believe it's Luke 2. This is a prophecy. This Isaiah 49, it's a prophecy. It's in one of the prophets, so therefore it's a prophecy. And yes, it was, let's see, I know it's in chapter 1. Where from the womb, from conception, Yehoshua was given a name. That name was told to Mary or Miriam by Gabriel the angel. And it was told to Miriam in verse 31, you shall conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Yehoshua. So when you read Isaiah 49, you must couple that with Luke 1. And I don't know why this verse escapes me. And verse 31. Luke 1 and verse 31. So we'll go back to Isaiah 49 again. From the bowels of my mother has he made mention of my name. Well, guess what, folks? That was when he was first given a name. Before that, he had no name. Most children are given a name after they're born. He was given a name just prior to conception. Now, and if you read verse 2, he has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand has he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver has he hid me. Yes. Now, in that context, let us read John 17. And we need to be very, very careful. Because the words of the prophets are the words that came out of the mouth of Jehovah. And Yehoshua said, you shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Jehovah. And the mouth of the prophets, or the words of the prophets, came out of the mouth of Jehovah. Now, John 17 or is it John 16? It might be John 16. Okay. In verse starting in verse 29, his disciples said unto him, I'll make sure I get this right. All right, John 16 and verse 27. We'll start in verse 27. For the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me and have believed that I came out from Yehoshua. Now, let us go to Strong's Concordance and let us look up these words. Have believed that I came out. That is Greek word exechomai or exechoami. That's a tough word. Means to go or come out of. So, he came out of Yehoshua. Verse 28, I came out of the Father. And am come into the world, or went into the world. Came out of, from the Father. His disciples, this is in verse 29, said unto him, Lo, now speak you plainly, and speak you no proverb. Now are we sure that you know all things, and need not that any man should ask you. By this we believe that you came out of, from Yehoshua. Or in Greek it says Theos, but it means Jehovah. It should say Yehoshua. So this is mentioned 3 times. 3 times in John 16. There is witness board that Yeshua came out of the Father. Now, he continues, and he answered them, Do you now believe? Behold, the hour comes, yes, is now come, that you shall be scattered, every one to his own, and shall leave me alone, yet I am not alone, and so on and so forth. But then there is something written in John 17. Verse 16 through 19. When Yehovah prays to the Father, I start in verse 13, he says, Now I come to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them my word, and the world hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them, that's the disciples, the believers, through your truth. your word, that's the words that come out of Jehovah's mouth, is truth. Those words are, again, as I say, written in the prophets, and one of those words being in Isaiah 49. As you have sent me into the world, in verse 18, even so have I also sent them, the disciples, into the world, and for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. So, folks, the truth sanctifies the believer. If you cannot believe that the Father literally had a Son, literally fathered a Son, then you do not believe the truth. If you believe that the Father literally had a Son, then you believe the truth, and you are sanctified by it. Now, to those who ask the question, well, what about the Jews who don't believe? They are sanctified because of the words that came out of the mouth of Jehovah when he made his promise to each of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the words that come out of the mouth of Jehovah are the truth. And those words shall stand. Therefore, even you Gentiles, when you know and you believe that Jehovah will bring Israel back to him again for his own name's sake, and for the sakes of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then you believe the truth. And you, O Gentile, who believe this truth, you are sanctified by that truth. Just as Ruth and just as Rahab were sanctified by the truth. Even though Ruth was a Moabite, and even though Rahab was a harlot. I hope this has been helpful. I have a few more videos that I need to do today. I hope I can get them all done today. In the meantime, you'll see me again in a while.